Hello everyone. Today we'll be solving Cambridge IGCSE Biology Paper 3 Core Syllabus October-November 2031. Question number 1. Figure 1.1 is a diagram of an animal cell. Label 3 structures on the cell shown in figure 1.1 using the label lines and the name of the structures. So guys, we can see here we have the cell membrane. We have cytoplasm and we have nucleus. State two structures that are found in plant cells but not in animal cells. So plant cells have chloroplast and plant cells have cell wall. Also plant cells have permanent vacuole. Question number 2. Figure 2.1 is a photograph of a lobster which is an arthropod. Okay. Describe two pieces of evidence visible in figure 2.1 that identify this organism as an arthropod. So arthropod contains exoskeleton, segmented body, other points that can be written is jointed legs and antenna. The scientific name of the arthropod in figure 2.1 is Homarus americanus. State the genus name. The genus name is always the first part, so Homarus. The arthropod shown in figure 2.1 is a crustacean. State the names of two other groups of arthropods. Other groups of arthropod include insect, arachnid, and myriapod. Many species of crustaceans live in seas and oceans. Some of these species have become endangered. Describe reasons why some marine crustacean species have become endangered. So basically, the main reason why crustaceans like Homarus americanus is going to be endangered, it's basically because the habitat is destroyed by overfishing. Disruption of food chain has occurred, maybe due to pollution. Pollution can also lead to diseases. Overfishing and competition from invasive species can be also a reason why this particular crustacean species will become endangered. Question number 3. HIV is a pathogen that can cause AIDS. Table 3.1 shows the adult population size of a country and estimated number of people infected with HIV/AIDS in that country in 2016. The data for the 6 countries are shown. Country A, total population, adult population 808,824, but infected people is way too much, 220,000. Country B, 248,490, but infected people is way less, 8,200. So we have similar data for country C, D, E, and F. State which country in table 3.1 had the greatest number of adults infected with HIV/AIDS. So obviously that is country A. Next question. Calculate the percentage of adults in country B that were infected with HIV/AIDS. Give your answer to 1 decimal place. So they want percentage adult. So 8,200 adult is infected out of 248,490 multiplied by 100% equals to our answer 3.3%. State why antibiotics are not effective against HIV. Antibiotics can only kill bacteria. It does not kill viruses, which is why antibiotics are not effective against HIV. Next question. The sentences describe how pathogens can be transmitted. Complete the sentences using words from the list. Each word may be used once, more than once, or not at all. So, pathogens for transmissible disease may be transmitted through direct contact, for example, through blood or other bodily fluids. They can also be transmitted indirectly through contaminated surfaces or food or animals or from the air. The human body has several defense against pathogens. These can be mechanical barriers, chemical barriers, responses by cells. The boxes on the left are examples of body defenses. The boxes on the right are different types of defense mechanism. Draw one link to each example to the correct type of defense. Draw 4 lines. So antibody production is actually a response by the cell. Hairs in the nose is a form of mechanical defense. Phagocytosis is a kind of response by the cell. Stomach acid is a form of chemical defense. Guys, moving on to the next question. The boxes show some examples of diseases. Place ticks in the boxes to show all the diseases that are caused by malnutrition. Malnutrition leads to obesity and scurvy. So, obesity and scurvy should be correct. State 3 risk factors for coronary heart disease. Well, coronary heart disease can, chances of coronary heart disease increases if a particular person experiences stress, or the person smokes, or the person is having problem with obesity. Other things that can also play an important role includes age, sex, lack of exercise. Guys, the term sex is basically, refers to the particular person's gender. So, males are at a higher risk of developing coronary heart disease than females. A scientist investigated how the growth of plant shoot was affected by the direction of light. A light source was placed in one side of the shoot, and the scientists recorded the appearance of the shoot after a few days. So at the beginning, direction of light is coming from this left side, and shoot after a few days has bent towards that particular direction of light, as we can see in the diagram. Direction of light coming from left, and the shoot is bending towards the left. Describe the results shown in figure 4.1. So basically the shoot grows towards the light. State the name of the response to the light shown in figure 4.1. So the response shown to the light in figure 4.1 is phototropism. Plants shoot grows towards the light. Explain the advantage to a plant of the response shown in figure 4.1. Well, if a plant grows towards the plant gets more light, and light is needed for photosynthesis to produce food. Okay guys, moving to the next question. The plant roots absorb mineral ions by active transport. Define the term active transport. Guys, active transport is the movement of particles through a cell membrane against the concentration gradient using the energy from respiration. So it has to be against the concentration gradient. Next question. State the importance of these mineral ions in plants. Magnesium ions. Magnesium ions are needed for making chlorophyll. Nitrate ions. Nitrate ions are needed to make amino acids. Next question. State 2 uses of water in plants. Plant use water for photosynthesis. Plants also use water for transpiration. Other possible answers will be support, transport, and water acts as a solvent. Question number 5. Recycling rates in one country were monitored every 10 years. The percentage of different types of recycled materials were recorded. Figure 5.1 shows the result. 1960s, we can see paper was recycled pretty much a lot, but then plastic was not even recycled at all, and the glass was recycled in a very small quantity, and metal was recycled in a very small quantity. In 1970s, the paper recycling remained the same, but gradually paper recycling has increased a very high percentage up until 2010. Along with that, metal recycling has also increased, it has grown. All right, and plastic recycling has increased. As we can see, it has increased. There was none, negligible, in 1960s and 1970s. All right, and glass recycling has also increased. So we can see a general trend of increasing, all right, in like until the year 2010. Okay, now complete the sentences using the data shown in figure 5.1. The general trend shows that between 1970s and 2000, the percentage of material recycled has increased. The most commonly recycled material is paper. In 1970s, plastic was not recycled. The percentage of metal recycled did not change between 2000 and 2010. We can see it's exactly the same. The percentage of metal recycled did not change between 2000 and 2010. So here is the proof. As you can see that it did not change exactly, it just remained as is. Calculate the increase in the percentage of glass recycled between 1960s and 1990s. So in 1960s, the percentage of glass recycled was like literally 1, and 1990s, the percentage of glass recycled was 20, as we can see. So 20. All right. Sorry, that's not 1, that's 2. Okay, so 20 minus 2, all right, is equals to 18%. Question number 6. Pectinase is an enzyme that is used in the production of apple juice. A student investigated how pH affected the volume of apple juice produced using pectinase. The student chopped an apple into small pieces. The pieces of the apple were put into solutions with different pH values. Pectinase was added to each solution. After 2 hours, the mixture was filtered and the volume of apple juice obtained was recorded. So table 6.1 shows the result. So pH 1.0, 23.2, pH 8.0, 22.0. Okay, so basically we can see as the pH has increased, the volume of juice extracted has increased until 27.6. 27.6 and pH 5.0 gives the best result. State the pH at which pectinase is most active. Give a reason for your answer. So guys, we can definitely conclude that at pH 5 we are seeing the best activity. Now the reason is that this is the pH where the largest volume of apple juice is produced. Okay, next question. State one factor other than pH that would affect the activity of pectinase. Definitely temperature would affect the activity of pectinase. So we should include temperature. And also another factor that would greatly affect the activity of pectinase is the surface area of the apple. So we must make sure that the surface area of apple is the same in every case. Guys, moving to the next question. Pectinase is an enzyme. The box on the left shows the beginning of a sentence. The box on the right shows some endings of sentence. Draw 3 lines from the word enzymes to make 3 correct sentences. All right. Well, enzymes are not all living organisms. Enzymes are proteins, that's for sure. All right, enzymes can be only used once, so definitely a wrong information. Enzymes have a complementary shape to their substrate, exactly. Enzyme increases the rate of chemical reaction. Yes, it does. It increases the rate of chemical reaction. Enzymes in stomach are most active of pH 8. Now, this is also wrong information. So, these three will be the correct statements. Okay, state one use of enzymes in biotechnology other than fruit juice production. Well, in biotechnology, other than fruit juice production, we definitely use enzymes in washing powder. So, washing powder. Many types of enzymes are involved in digestion. State the name of two digestive enzymes in the human alimentary canal. Well, we can write down the main ones: lipase, amylase, and also last one we could have written protease. Question number 7. Pollination occurs when pollen is transferred from one flower to another. Figure 7.1 is a diagram of a part of a flower. Okay, we can see the structured A, B, C, D, E, F. Okay, state the letters from figure 7.1 that identifies the structures which attract insect pollinators. Now, insect pollinators are definitely attracted by the petals, and B is labeling the petal. So, definitely is going to be the B. Let's just write down the name here. This is the petal. A is the stigma. And C is the anther. Okay. E is the sepal. Attracts insect pollinators. Insect pollinators are attracted by the petals, so B. Produces pollen. Anther produces pollen, so anther is C. Receives the pollen during pollination. Obviously, stigma receives the pollen, so A. Draw a label line and the letter X on the flower in figure 7.1 to show where fertilization occurs. So fertilization obviously is going to occur in the ovule. So we're going to label one of this and we're just going to label it X. State the name of the part labeled E in figure 7.1. So E is basically sepal. The flower shown in 7.1 represents an insect pollinated flower. Describe two ways the pollen from an insect pollinated flower differs from the pollen from a wind pollinated flower. So pollens of an insect pollinated flower are larger, they are spiky, and they are usually stickier and more heavier. Next question. A student wrote an incorrect statement about fertilization in plant. Fertilization is the fusion of zygote nuclei. Circle the incorrect word. So basically the zygote, this word is incorrect. So moving on. Plants can reproduce asexually or sexually. Table 7.1 compares asexual and sexual reproduction. Place ticks in boxes to show the correct features of asexual and sexual reproduction. Involve gametes. Sexual reproduction. Makes more of the same kind of organism. Asexual reproduction. Produces genetically identical offspring. Asexual reproduction. Involves fertilization. Sexual reproduction. Figure 8.1 is a Punnett square used to show the inheritance of sex in humans. Complete the Punnett square in figure 8.1. So male parent chromosomes are X and X, and female parent chromosomes will be, male parent chromosome were X and Y, and female parent chromosomes will be X and X. So this will be X. So the next generation will be X, 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 Y, X, Y. Okay. Circle the percentage of chance of having a baby being male. So the chances of having a male or a female is 50%. So it will be 50%. State the name of the structure in gamete that contains the chromosomes. Well, nucleus contains the chromosome, so we'll just write nucleus. Moving on. Sea turtles or reptiles which lay eggs. The sex of the sea turtle of offspring is affected by the temperature at which the eggs are kept. Scientists investigated the effect of temperature on the sex of sea turtle offspring. Figure 8.2 shows the result. State the temperature at which 22% of the sea turtle offsprings are female. So 22% are female. As you can see, 22 is here. So if we just draw it, okay, so that is 28 degrees Celsius. So the answer will be 28 degrees Celsius. Next question. Describe the data shown in figure 8.2. So if we look at the data, we can see as the temperature increases, all right, the percentage of sea turtle offspring becoming female is getting higher and higher. That means higher temperature produces higher temperature increases the percentage of female offspring. The percentage of female offspring is constant at lowest temperatures, as we can see between 5.5 and 26 degrees Celsius, that female offspring were constant. The steepest occurs at 29 degrees Celsius. As you can see, at 29 degrees Celsius, there is an extreme change, like it goes from nearly 40% to 60%. All right, female. Then equal number of male and female occurs at 29 degrees Celsius as well, because we can see 50% occurring at 29 degrees Celsius. So equal number of male and female also occurs at 29 degrees Celsius. Okay. At all temperature, there are some males and females. As you can see, even at the temperature of about 32.5 degrees Celsius, we can see that still we had around 94% female but 6% male. So male were still present. At 32 degrees Celsius, 94% of the sea turtles offsprings are females and 6% are males. So basically we can write all of this information in this part. Now obviously all of these points are not going to be needed to achieve these 3 marks. These extra points are actually given so that it helps you remember and answer the question later. Question number 9. Figure 9.1 is a photograph of a fish farm. Fish are kept in small cages in the sea and are fed. This is an example of intensive livestock production. Describe the negative impacts of intensive livestock production. So basically, intensive livestock production creates water pollution. There is a risk of pathogens and diseases spreading to the wild population. Increased use of antibiotics in the farms may create antibiotic resistance in bacteria. Intensive livestock production can create disturbance to natural food chains as well. So that can be taken into. Define the term sustainable resource. So basically, a sustainable resource is produced as rapidly as it is removed from the environment, so it does not run out completely. So guys, next question. Circle 2 examples of sustainable resources from the list. Obviously, fish stocks and forests. They can be sustainable. But coal, natural gas, crude oil, there is no chances of making them sustainable. So guys, that's the end of the question paper. If you like this particular question paper solving videos, please subscribe and like the videos. Alright, and subscribe to the channel. And if you let us know what kind of question paper you want to solve us next, then definitely we're going to be, queuing those particular question papers after we have solved them. Thank you very much. See you in the next class.